Good evening, everyone. Welcome back, future lawyers, to day 16 of our bar review. We are exactly 173 days away from the bar examinations. Today, we are officially embarking on our deep dive into Roman numeral 2 of our syllabus, jurisdiction. Specifically, we will distinguish the concept of jurisdiction from the mere exercise of jurisdiction. Our guiding verse for today is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. In law, jurisdiction simply means authority. A court can only act if the law grants it the authority to do so. If a court acts without this established authority, everything it does is void. But before we tackle this crucial distinction, let us first resolve the bar question I left you with back in day 12 regarding concurrent jurisdiction. Here is the question we left hanging in day 12. Attorney Reyes bypassed the lower courts and directly filed a petition for certiorari and prohibition before the Supreme Court, banking on the fact that these courts share concurrent jurisdiction. The City of Manila wants the petition dismissed. Should the Supreme Court dismiss the petition? Let us reveal the suggested answer. Let us reveal the suggested answer using our Beer method. If you wrote this down, give yourself full points. First, the binary. Yes, the Supreme Court should dismiss the petition. Second, the enabling law. Jurisprudence provides that while the Supreme Court shares concurrent jurisdiction with lower courts to issue extraordinary writs, the principle of judicial hierarchy dictates that recourse must first be made to the lower ranked court, except when there are special and important reasons clearly specifically set out in the petition. Third, the evaluation. Here, Attorney Reyes filed a petition directly with the Supreme Court, bypassing the regional trial court and the Court of Appeals without demonstrating any special and important reason, such as an issue of transcendental importance, to justify the direct resort to the highest court. And finally, the resolution. Thus, the Supreme Court should dismiss the petition. This is a classic hierarchy of courts question. Now, let us proceed to today's main topic. To properly digest the difference between jurisdiction and the exercise of jurisdiction, we will use our four-level analytical framework, the Beer syllabus. First, the big picture, placing us at the start of our jurisdiction syllabus. Second, the essential pillar, where we define both concepts and see how they interact. Third, the elemental principle, where we distinguish an error of jurisdiction from an error of judgment, and their corresponding remedies. And fourth, the root level, looking at a landmark Supreme Court ruling that cements this distinction. For our big picture, we are now exploring the 31 subtopics under jurisdiction. We start with a core concept. Jurisdiction is a matter of substantive law. It is the absolute lifeblood of any judicial proceeding. It is the power and authority of a court to hear, try, and decide a case, and ultimately to enforce its judgment. Without this substantive power, a court is merely a room with a gavel. Moving down to our essential pillar, let us define jurisdiction precisely. Look at the image on your screen. The golden key represents jurisdiction. It is simply the authority to decide a case. It is the right of the court to act in a case. Here, here is the golden rule. Because jurisdiction is just the power to hear and determine a case, its existence does not depend on whether the judge exercises that power perfectly or makes the right decision. The authority to decide a case is entirely separate from the wisdom of the decision itself. The act of signing the document represents the exercise of jurisdiction, the actual decision. Once a court has the key, meaning it has jurisdiction over the person and the subject matter, every single decision it makes on all other questions arising in the case is merely an exercise of that jurisdiction. Whether the judge admits the right evidence, appreciates the facts correctly, or applies the right law, they are simply exercising the power they already hold. This brings us to the elemental principle, which is highly testable in bar exams: the difference between an error of jurisdiction and an error of judgment. An error of jurisdiction happens when the court completely lacks the golden key. It acts without or in excess of its jurisdiction, or with such grave abuse of discretion that it amounts to a lack of jurisdiction. On the other hand, an error of judgment happens when the court already has the key and is exercising its power, but it simply makes a mistake. It involves an error in how the judge appreciated the facts or applied the law. Because these errors are fundamentally different, the law provides two completely different paths for a remedy. Look at the visual graphic. If the judge commits an error of jurisdiction, acting without authority, you take the extraordinary steep path of certiorari. But if the judge merely makes an error of judgment, meaning they had the authority but just made a wrong decision, you take the ordinary paved path of an appeal. You cannot use certiorari to correct a simple mistake in judgment. Before we proceed to our root level, let us hit the pause button. I want you to close your eyes for a brief moment. I want try to actively recall the most important points we just covered. What does the golden key represent? Yes, jurisdiction, the authority to decide. What does signing the document represent? The exercise of jurisdiction, the actual decision. Finally, what is the proper remedy for an error of judgment? Exactly, an appeal. Open your eyes. Excellent recall. Let us lock those concepts in. Let us bring this down to the root level and see this applied in the 2005 case of Republic versus G Holdings Incorporated. In this case, the Supreme Court unequivocally declared that jurisdiction is not the same as the exercise of jurisdiction. A losing party attempted to file a petition for certiorari, claiming the trial court judge made a horribly wrong decision regarding the facts and the law. The Supreme Court struck it down, ruling that the errors of court may commit in the exercise of its jurisdiction are merely errors of judgment. Even if the judge's decision is factually or legally wrong, as long as the judge has jurisdiction over the case, the proper remedy is an ordinary appeal, not certiorari. You cannot use certiorari as a substitute for a lost appeal. To wrap up our discussion today, here is a highly possible bar question that perfectly tests your ability to distinguish these concepts. Let us read it. Attorney Cross represents the plaintiff in a civil action for damages before the regional trial court. During the trial, the judge admitted a highly questionable piece of documentary evidence presented by the defendant over the vigorous objection of Attorney Cross. Ultimately, Relying heavily on that disputed document, the trial court rendered a decision dismissing the plaintiff's complaint. Furious, Attorney Cruz immediately filed a petition for certiorari under Rule 65 before the Court of Appeals. He argued that the trial court judge acted with grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction by miserably failing to appreciate the rules of evidence and rendering a blatantly erroneous judgment. Will the petition for certiorari prosper? I will leave this question with you as your assignment. Apply what we just learned about the difference between an error of jurisdiction and an error of judgment, and the proper paths to remedy them. Draft your best beer-style answer, and we will reveal the suggested answer after 3 days. Before we officially end today's session, remember Romans chapter 13 verses 1. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities. Mastering jurisdiction means mastering the boundaries of judicial authority. Understand the key, understand the power, and you will understand remedial law. Thank you for joining me on day 16. Keep up the momentum, and I will see you in our next session.